I could be put forth his in disguise. Irish warfare is nothing to be played with. I needed the war inside.
So watch this video and subscribe and put a thumbs up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back again. What do you want to see from me? Everybody in the streets, come on in. Let the party begin. Come on back and let's go for the win. Talk about House of the DROGONE, or maybe whatever you see. We're going to talk about Westeros, baby. We back again. Forget the rings of power, they're not your friends. But come with the real stuff. You know what it is. You know we're going to get up like that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rehabilitation Center of, you guessed it, Abu Nas. Miss Martin Muse, J. Hand, Zachariah 315, welcome. Tracy, woo! That's right, Tracy, you are here. And now we are going to take a little trip into the mind of Abu Nas and his beautiful and awesome producer, the one and only Reina Creole.
Hey, everybody.
Oh,
hello.
I don't know how many people going to come in here, but I figured let me get the ball rolling because I've been planning to do the review of this series for a while. And I was kind of tepid a little bit. You know, I know Spork and News got his thing going and whatnot. And, you know, normally if I didn't, you know, committed myself to putting this out there for myself and the channel, I would have probably jumped on whoever stream it was just to talk about it, you know. But I'm so glad that you, of course, came here to join me. And Miss Martin Muse, I totally understand. I mean, everybody got to have their breaking point, and a lot of people from Game of Thrones is like, listen, I can't do this. I can't commit to this thing, and then it gets screwed up. And I get it. I totally get it. You know, Dan and Dave really shat the pooch.
Woo! You are putting it mildly. That is an understatement. I mean, I was a normie, so I didn't watch it because I was in the Vikings. So I'm like, everybody's in the Game of Thrones. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna watch Vikings until, you know,
Vikings
after they killed
Ragnar.
Yeah, I was like,
you know what's so funny? I still enjoyed the hell out of it. You know, Bjorn Ironside dying really like took my heart away. You know, but I ain't even gonna lie. I was pro Ivar from the beginning. That man was nuts, and I just loved his moxie, man. I really did.
He was crazy, but for me, it was kind of like, yeah, Ragnar was my boy.
Ube,
like, Ube, all right.
Is it Ube or Ube? I think it was Ube. The second one, the one that was more, you know, like Bjorn, but he was the younger one.
Yeah.
He had some brains though, you know. But I tell you this, I wanted to come into this House of the Dragon with open eyes, knowing how we got burnt in the last season of Game of Thrones. I even rewatched the entire series. The journey was perfect up until not so much season 7, but so much because it was still the journey. But once it got to season 8, and I could still stomach a lot of the shit, you know, when they did the switch. But once I found out that Jon did not get the payoff, it ruined everything.
He didn't get the Ice King. Daenerys, they did her freaking dirty.
She was supposed to go crazy.
She was, but it's like she didn't go. I wanted her to go full Mad King crazy because you saw the signs, and I was freaking waiting for that. I'm like, I'm waiting for that. She's gonna pull her wig off, and she's just gonna lose her freaking mind, and I cannot wait to freaking see this. And No, it
Yeah.
didn't. It didn't
Yeah, it was
happen.
too
It was
quick. It
lousy.
was too quick. I wanted this thing to just gradually, even when she sat on the Iron Throne, let her, her mind was like, I'm just going to liberate everybody. And if
Yeah.
you don't like it, then that's it. I mean, you have to literally show her go that route so that if it was having to be John the Killer, after he killed the Night King, then
Mhm.
it's pretty much the Song of Ice and Fire in full force.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm saying? After
they
being lovers, now you got to be enemies. It would have been perfect that way.
would have been freaking perfect, and they effed it up.
I
So by the
know.
time I binged it from season 1, season 6, the wheels were kind of wobbling on the bus. By
Mhm.
season 7, they were really wobbling off the bus, and then
Yep.
by 8, they just freaking,
Yeah, they just lost
they
it, lost their crap because of few. Yes, Miss
yeah,
Martin
because
was
of a
there.
few bros.
That I thought it was comical at first because
Are
she was
you
like this.
kidding me?
She started shaking. I thought to myself, I was like, maybe she could see the what's her face, Cersei, in the window, like, come
Yeah.
get me, bitch. And she just lost the Drogon. Said, burn, baby, burn.
I said, this is how you gonna freaking do my girl. I'm
You
like,
know,
no, I
I
was
can't.
mad and I was pissed. But with this, because I'm a complete normie
Mhm.
to Game of Thrones, and because I'm House Targaryen all the freaking way, I'm like,
I'm
oh,
House Stark.
this
I'm
is
always House Stark.
interesting. I said, this
Mhm.
is interesting. I wanna, I wanna check it out, see what they do.
Right.
And that's pretty much my attitude. But if you are completely done with it after that whatever, you know what it was. It was a
Yeah.
freaking abomination. The season 8 was.
I
It
I
was
always
absolutely
I
ridiculous.
always said, and I know probably Miss Martin Muse could agree, and a lot of y'all guys up in here, D Nice Gamer, Vexer 4000, Tracy, Osa Fresh, 1994 in the building. Root cause, yeah, the Vikings, new Vikings of Valhalla. I got suckered in.
Oh,
I
oh,
got
that is
suckered into that.
ass. After the first one, I
I got
said no.
suckered in. I was thinking that it was going to be. I
I
couldn't
thought
even.
so too.
I was
And it
pissed.
was just like, no,
Yeah,
no, no, I
yeah.
don't know what this is, but it ain't
You know
Vikings.
what? Speaking Bjorn and then
Yes.
Lagatha, Soul Assassin. Yo, quiet as kept. If House of the Dragon is probably gonna jump back after going forwards or backwards in time to talk about the other things. If they do the conquest, my girl Lagatha gotta be Visenya Targaryen. There's nobody can probably play that part better than her.
She was my girl.
She
Oh
will
my
kill it as
God.
Visenya Targaryen. I'm telling you right now, she will kill it. Shoot, you might as well bring Ragnar there as Aegon and just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Just keep
I
it
would
going.
be one happy person. Let me
I
tell
would, me too. Me too. Kayla D, hello there, my dear.
you.
Oh my goodness. Of course, Zachariah 315 was in the building. But yeah, Miss Martin Muse, you are absolutely right. This just the fact that Daenerys just lost the shit behind the bells and then everything went to shit behind there. I will say that I like the Cobain Bowl. That was about as dramatic as you can get with the two brothers, and then they crashed through the wall. I said, okay, I'll give you that one. Just go out in the blaze. That's what I said. But at the very least, now that 4 years away from Game of Thrones,
I
it was
guess. I
2017,
guess so,
18,
because I didn't
19,
watch it
20.
with anyone else did. I think I started to watch it. I think it was
Right.
2 years ago. I think I did stream 2 years ago. Because
Okay.
after season 8 wrapped, I didn't even watch the show, and I kept hearing how bad it was. And I was like, well, I like traffic accidents. So let me see, how did this go from being the show to watch
Mm-hmm.
to what the flip went wrong? So I had to
Exactly.
find out for myself.
Yeah, a
So
lot of people, like I said, I think what it is with Dan and Dave, they got the Star Wars thing in their lights, and they wanted to rush it so they could get over to Disney. And I know they probably regret it now because they ain't get their shit from Disney started. So that was just a waste.
They will never get away from that.
But I've always said to myself that if you really love Game of Thrones, the journey itself is still good. It's still good. Just revisiting Tywin Lannister, Tyrion, and all the good shit going down in the Vale, and bloody
Get
gates,
the audio
crazy ass Aunt Lysa. Did he touch your body? Did he? Poor Peter Baelish just sitting up there like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do?
You know what? For real, get the audio book. I haven't even finished the audio book because the writing is so good. You know, when you hear it performed, I keep going back and
well, like I said, I never read the books. All I did was saw Sean Bean, my man Boromir from Lord of the Rings, and I said, I want to see this. That's the only reason I started watching Game of Thrones in the first place. So when he got his head chopped off, you knew I was going to be checking out.
That just, I said, dang, if they gonna do this, shoot, nobody is safe. All right.
Like I said, man, we all got caught out there with the red wedding, blah blah blah. So yeah, it was a cultural phenomenon. It's gonna be hard to duplicate it. But this now, what it brings us to this thing right here. You know, they kind of figured, okay, well, it should be. I know HBOMAX is setting up here like there is still a thing for more Game of Thrones, and it's like, I don't know, man. People are really bummed out about, and it's like, all right, well, let's concentrate on the Targaryens, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe. Well, let's put the feelers out there. You know, a lot of people was like, oh, come on, please, no more Dan and Dave bullshit, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but they persisted. They got the main man that did some of the best Game of Thrones episodes, Miguel Sapochnik. And then he brought this Ryan Cordell or whatever, and then George R.R. Martin literally signed off on both of these cats and was in the mix of the development of the show. So I put it to you like this. What am I going to say? You know, if the author, of course, the whole thing about, well, what the fuck are you doing? Write the book. Listen, you can't... Look, I put it to you like this. I can understand the fans' eagerness to know exactly what really will happen with Ice and Fire. You know, will Daenerys turn into the Mad Queen or whatever? But some of these things is pretty much telegraphed, and I guess he already knows that you can only take this but so much, and the bending, the twisting, and everything. You can only do so much of it. You know, it's kind of like the cat's out the bag, but at least the author needs to put his stamp of approval on it, or he put his final say on it, so that way we can give you the big fuck you to Dan and Dave, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, he said he was even left out of season 8, so I think
and
motherfuckers sing.
And it showed. I mean, me not even knowing anything about Dan and Dave or any of that, just me looking and seeing the quality of the episodes, the quality of the cinematography went to ass. Like that one episode, oh my gosh, it was all at night. I must have erased the title.
The Long Night.
Yeah, The Long Night.
I didn't have a real problem of seeing it.
I did, and
Yeah,
it was
a lot of people did. Yeah.
It was bad. It's like if you're gonna do a shoot like that, you need to make sure you can actually see what's going on, and it looked horrible. And supposedly, I guess the powers that be said, "Oh, well, there's something wrong with your TV." I'm like, no, nothing wrong with my TV. Everything wrong with how you set it up. So you can see the quality was just horrible. Like I said, season 6. It was starting to shift a little bit, because you know how some shows, they'll have some gangbuster seasons, and then they'll have one season where they're kind of like, you know what, look,
the best season for me was season 5, Hard Home. It is really hard to really capture that moment when him and John had that look in the music. It was chilling. That's why by the time we got the Battle of the Bastards and how the Night King killed the dragon, that's how you knew the stakes was up. Dragons getting killed by the army. And then they just dropped the ball. But now let's get started on this. I will say this. I was hyped from the beginning, you know,
That's true. You
because
were.
if the author of these books, Fire and Blood, and all the stuff, we read these things over and over again in the source material, so we know these things. Well, I know these things going in left and right. So, you know, they finally making a show of this, and only the books and the source material. Well, Fire and Blood goes into a lot of detail. I think George R. R. Martin really sat down and, you know, put that whole thing together. So if they're gonna go by Fire and Blood, then yeah, it's going to be an epic. But according to the normies, or for those that got burnt out by Game of Thrones, it's almost like there's nothing they can do to bring me back. But we have to try. Ain't nothing out. There ain't even nothing out there right now.
And that's a shame, because if you look at, in me being a normie, like I said, for me, I was kind of like, okay, Targaryen, yeah, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up and see it. But even normies like me were just like, okay, well, we're hearing, you know, R.R. Martin's in it. Hey, Fatal, what's
King
up?
is in the building, baby.
Hey,
Lorena, winter is coming.
winter is definitely coming.
Hey, and even on this show, they made it seem like winter is coming. Did y'all notice that?
Well, let's start. Well, let's just start this off right.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, because frankly, if you see like all the buzz, and I don't know if you saw like the stories and everything, they were like, interest in House of the Dragon is 20 times more than that for Bracelets of Power.
Ooh, beautiful.
Oh, most definitely. I was gonna shoot a video, but I got caught up with work. Rings of Power is getting so desperate now. Do you know that they're going to put the first 2 episodes in theaters for free? For free.
All right, I'm gonna check this out. If this pops up on Fandango,
no way.
Free.
Hold on, wait. Free.
I can't believe Amazon would.
You know, Amazon don't get nothing away for free.
That's desperation.
It can't be.
I keep telling
I got to look this up.
I keep telling everybody, this backlash is going to be even bigger than Last Jedi. And that was one of the biggest backlashes known to mankind history.
Yeah, but we got caught out there with Last Jedi. We had to literally go to the theater and see the train wreck that it was, and then the thing got out. Everybody that came out the theater pissed, like myself and everybody else. It started YouTube channels like myself and everybody else. We had to bring this shit down to a close. But Mark Hamill, shout out to Mark Hamill. Shout out to Mark Hamill. He tried to warn us, ladies.
He tried to warn us.
He tried to warn us months in advance, because he knew with the way Ryan Johnson did that shit. He knew, and he told Ryan, the fans are not gonna go for this shit. And this fuck muppet bitch ass beta bitch said that I don't care about the fans, I care about the story, and the rest is history.
They messed with the wrong fandom this time.
They did. The token people are not trying to hear this bullshit.
Have you ever heard of that before? I've never heard of that before.
They tried it. I will say this. Remember Obi-Wan? They did it in Canada. They put episodes of Obi-Wan in the theaters in Canada.
No.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They totally did.
Wow. Well, at the very least, they're trying. They are trying their very hardest.
They're scared to death.
And why would you time that right with House of the Dragon, another fantasy show?
Mm-hmm.
If anything, at least release it in December or March.
Me neither, Tracy.
I know the trend where your biggest movies and your biggest shows drop in December, but you messed up bad trying to compete with House of the Dragon.
Yeah, man.
They just don't know.
They was actually thinking that House of the Dragon may not get that type of steam because everybody was burnt out by, Game of Thrones, and because they know they preview the internet and go through the tweets and the Instagrams and all of that. So they thought they really had something going, but House of the Dragon
now Abu, let me get this right, because okay, I admit it, I'm a millennial, so I'm not into books. I'm more of a graphic novel type of guy, but I love watching lore videos. So I've been known about the House of Dragon story, but I want to make sure I got this right. So the House of Dragon story is pretty much a fight over the Iron Throne between the daughter and the uncle, right?
No, the daughter and her brother, her half brother.
Okay, so the uncle is not the big bad baddie in this?
No, he isn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he isn't.
Because I know later on in the story she's going to get older, right?
Right.
And that's when stuff really started going down.
Exactly.
I'm gonna ask a question in the chat real quick.
Because I know, like, after a while, and this is not spoilers, you should have read the books. The young girl that we see now, she's going to have sons, right? She's going to have sons.
If you're talking about Allison, yes.
Dang on it, that's just what I asked in the chat.
Oh.
And you can see it coming. Stevie Wonder could see that coming.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start off right from the get-go. I want to try to do this in the chronological order. I know we freestyling it, but as for myself personally, as I said before Fatal got in, I was looking forward to this for a while. I'm not, like I said, my whole way of thinking has changed, and I can understand the people that wants to have the purest, straight lace, the whole bit, Corus Valerian ain't supposed to be black with dreads and blah, 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 blah. I get it. You want things the way you see it and you read it in the book. It is your opinion. It is your wish. Unfortunately, you didn't get it. So you turn yourself off behind it. It's woke. It's this and that. It's about these women. Oh, my, more women empowerment.
But I diversity.
Diversity, high, blah, blah, blah. My thing now is
they
that
do the women right in the show. When they come to Game of Thrones, like I look at Daenerys, I can identify with that character. That's a dope character. Pretty much all the women that's in the Game of Thrones show, they're dope. So I can ride with them being defeating kingdoms and defeating the men. Because they did it right.
And the story goes as George R.R. Martin wrote and created these characters. He knew he wanted to see certain things that, like I said, matters of succession. It doesn't even need, has to be between men. It could be women, or men, women. It doesn't matter. He's basically drawn from real life stuff. And that's the history of the world.
Exactly. That's what I told people when they were like, oh, well, it looks like it's just women power, whatever. I'm like, do you know the story of Queen Elizabeth, the first one?
She was going to go to war against her own sister, right?
Yeah. Her own sister whacked, had that chick murked in the Tower of London.
Cold-blooded stuff right there.
Cold-blooded.
But I'm not, like I said, I'm not, gonna rag on people that just, my tastes have finally changed, because I'm not here to sweat the bullshit anymore. I'm really not. We know how many hundreds of videos you got from hundreds of YouTubers, from hundreds of ways, and that you're gonna say you hate this shit, okay? After the first 5,000 times, we fucking get it, okay?
But I will say,
right. The problem is that you're not affecting any change. You're just, all of us, even myself, we're screaming into the void, trying to convince people that, we have a right to say X, Y, and Z. And and granted, we'll go about our merry ways, but at some point, when am I going to just, relax and just watch something and see if I like it just for the fact of it's entertaining me? You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not hating on nobody doing their own thing, but for right now, at this time, I saw the first episode and I freaking love it.
The opening, I love the opening.
Yes.
I freaking loved the opening.
I didn't expect the opening like that. So that the way they categorize and just letting you know that we haven't forgotten about Game of Thrones and we know who was the star of that show, even though then again they're gonna but they put Daenerys 175 years before Daenerys Targaryen. I was like,
yeah, and I like too. I like how they did subtle Easter eggs. Like you saw the starch right here, you saw the high tower, but it wasn't a big flashy thing like they did with stuff like Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker and all that type of stuff. It was just little subtle ways. You know what I mean?
They just kind of brought it in, like when he was talking when her father was
Vector 4000. You ain't right. You ain't right, bro.
You ain't kidding.
In the whole house?
Kidding.
And shit, I want to be in that hole.
You gotta have hoes in Game of Thrones.
I'm about to say that's normal in the show.
Game of Thrones, shit.
You expect to see one of those.
You know, Epstein's going to put the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Hail to the guys and the beautiful Reina Creole. Quick question:
dear?
Will we see the White Walkers? You know
they
what?
They hinted it.
You know what? That's probably why Kit Harington is really pushing for that Jon Snow thing. And I will bet you a bottom of a dollar, he's talking with George R. R. Martin, because what he said in an interview, and then it actually came through in the episode when we'll get to that, because that's going to be another conversation in and of itself.
Yeah, because the king said it. He told it to the daughter.
Hold on. We'll get to it. Now we come through that. She comes in flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Rhaenyra on Syrax.
God, that dragon was beautiful.
The trainers. I love the fact that he actually got dragon tamers to get them into the dragon pit. I would have never thought of that. I would have just thought that she would just ride her dragon into the dragon pit or whatever. No, they got actual people that go, Syrax, come here.
It would make sense. Because it would make sense though, because when we first saw Daenerys in Game of Thrones, and she had her dragons that she was raising, they were wild, They didn't have anyone, controlling them. She had to learn how to ride on her own. Right. But since dragons are consistently part of the Targaryen heritage, it's obvious with that much power, they figured out, okay, we got to rein these suckers in. Teach them how to learn, different commands. So that made sense that they had
in Valerian, mind you.
In Valerian. That tripped me. I love that they did that.
Yeah, me too.
Freaking love that they did
that. Regular Joe speaking high Valerian.
All right, now if you want dinner, you better act right. It's like, all right.
Yeah, I said, holy shit.
Now I got a question though, because I was still kind of out of the loop with certain questions. With certain things. Now, does this take place in Westeros?
Yes.
Okay.
This is in Westeros.
Because I didn't know if this. I still wasn't sure, but I think it made sense when he said the doom of Valyria, so I knew it wasn't in Valyria.
The doom is in Valyria.
No, I know that, but when he said the doom of Valyria, then I was like, okay, this is not in Valyria, but maybe this is not in Westeros either.
Nope, it's definitely in Westeros.
But the Valyrians, the Targaryens are Valyrians, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and then when the doom of Valyria happened, that's when they went to Westeros.
Yep, they bounced out. They bounced out 7 years before the doom happened. So
okay.
Yeah.
Now I got a question. The black dude with the dreads. He's not Targaryen, but he has Valyrian blood in him.
Yes, he does. He's from another house in Valyria. He's not related, quote unquote, to the Targaryens when they was in Valyria. They was just another house.
Yeah, because the Valyrians, the Targaryens weren't even the top dogs in Valyria, right?
No, they wasn't. They were a minor house.
Okay,
they were small. They were small potatoes, and that's uncanny.
But what rose them to power is they took advantage of the dragons they found, right?
That's all of them had dragons from the minor and major houses. Everybody had dragons,
Okay.
Fires and the whole bit, You know,
Seem
they
like
just
they're-
they just sold all their holdings or whatever, took their family, took their whatever money, and took their dragons that they own, and they had straight at the Dragonstone.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep.
That's why in I forget which episode it was in Game of Thrones where Daenerys crosses the narrow sea and dude's talking all this smack and her translator is saying one thing but he's saying something else,
Yep.
and you didn't find out till almost the end of the episode that Daenerys knew every single thing because she said High Valyrian is the mother tongue of the Targaryens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had dummy stuck on stupid. He was
Yeah.
throwing whore and everything
I
else.
was
And
like,
she didn't even blink. She like,
He didn't even flinch.
and then when he found out she was speaking hilarious, he like, Gaga?
I was like, damn, I love this show.
Oh, boy. Like I said, the writing, like I said, Dan and Dave had the writing on lock because they invested themselves in this shit.
What up, Anzo?
They started seeing dollar signs from Disney, and then at the end they rushed this shit, and look what it became. But since we're back in Westeros, now we come up to the Red Keep. It felt like everything from Game of Thrones is there, but new, which obviously is because it's 100%. But I just love
it feels like
it feels like you're home again.
It does, but it feels like a baby stage of King's Landing because they in King's Landing, right?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. But it still felt like, damn, I'm back in the Game of Thrones world. I mean, for us that was still burnt out, it had to be a little part of you that was like, damn, all right, we back in Westeros.
Especially the tournament. The tournament brought me back into the Game of Thrones world because that's how the first seasons jumped off.
Yeah.
And you notice every time it's a tournament, that some secret stuff is about to pop off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's something about the tournaments, man.
Yeah, man. I'll put it to you like this. Once they got to the small council and you see Viserys for the first time, he's up there, being happy and everything because, Rhaenyra was late. So she's the cupbearer. So she had to get to the small council meeting. And he's just laughing. And I said, that they starting it off right because Viserys is a people person, As a king, he wanted to do exactly what Jaehaerys did for damn near 60 years when he was king. Everything was at peace. He was loved by all the lords. He was pretty much the greatest king Westeros will ever have as a Targaryen. Period. There was nobody like him before or even after. Not even. So Viserys tried to do his best to be Jaehaerys 2.0. Happy. Hey, everybody want to party? Yeah, okay, all right. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Okay, so Jaehaerys was the one that gave it. He gave it to the king that we saw.
Right.
Yeah.
He let the lords of Westeros pick and choose.
Now is Jaehaerys is what they say to make a dragon breathe fire?
No, Dracarys.
Dracarys. Oh, okay.
That's the command. Because remember, we gonna get to that part, but
But at the very least, Jaehaerys, as the king, he had a lot of children, and basically the seeds of how the Dance of the Dragon was going to progress was basically in the making of his children. But it wasn't.
To answer Joel, to my understanding, this show is way before the Mad King.
Yeah,
125,
172.
172, yeah.
Yep. I mean, at the very least, Viserys was a guy that when you saw him, you felt at ease. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? You're so used to the Mad King and everybody being a dickhead.
I know.
He's
just like,
hey,
we just chill. We just hanging out. Hey, have a good time. Everybody just get along.
Yeah. Everybody was cool.
Even the music was the same, but it was slightly different. That's why Ramin Djawadi, because he did the soundtrack to Iron Man. That was his first one.
He did. I did not know.
He did. His soundtracks are hype.
All right, now I gotta revisit that because I never knew it was okay. Well, here he was right. He was like right back at home. He gave you the familiar themes that brings you into the Game of Thrones universe. It was perfect. Whoever the showrunners, they really said, what is it that everybody loved about Game of Thrones? We doing checkmark shit. and just put that in there. And they was right. Soon you get to the council and you see Otto even the first looking of Otto Hightower, I know he was a dickhead from the start. A pompous, arrogant high lord. He's over here high lord. He's from Old Town. His whole family owned the fucking town, the biggest city in the world with a high septons and that. They basically loaded like Tywin Lannister and everything. So you know he has.
I won't make this connection with me because I call myself know a little bit of the lore, but I'm still off. Hightower. Now, who is Hightower in Game of Thrones? Isn't it the lady, the woman Hightower?
No, basically,
made me remember.
Basically at this time, the Lord of Hightower is the hand of the king's older brother.
I know it's the hand, but I'm saying make me connect the Hightower in Game of Thrones. Who was the Hightower in the Game of Thrones show?
They didn't say.
I always thought it was the woman with the hat, the old woman. Wasn't she a Hightower?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think I know who you talk.
You know what I'm talking about? Remember, her niece or daughter married
Joffrey.
Married Joffrey, yeah.
Right. No, she was not a Hightower. She was a red wine or something.
Okay. See, I always thought she was a Hightower.
She's from a family called Red Wine. Orlena Red Wine. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's her maiden name. My girl. Yeah, that was her maiden name before she was betrothed to Mace Tyrell. No, Mace Tyrell's father.
Okay, Joel said Highgarden. Besser said Hightower was gone by Game of Thrones. Oh, okay.
Gerald Hightower. Yeah, Gerald Hightower was commander of the Kingsguard for Aerys the Mad King. So that was all the way in the future.
Oh, so
these are their ancestors.
Oh, okay, so they've been gone by
they've been gone. They've been gone. Yeah, so the Hightowers was a big thing back in those days. So Otto Hightower, you already seen him just sitting there, you know what I'm saying, puffing up his chest, his little badge.
Pompous as hell.
And I'm looking at him like, oh yeah, this is the motherfucker I'm really gonna hit.
It's the little details because he kept focusing, like on his insignia and all of that and all the shots and how he
telling the king that certain things going on, and then he started getting on Damien. Then he started. It's like, and the way he just where is he?
Well, do you think he was being disrespectful or truthful to Damien?
A little bit of both, but come on,
it was a little bit of both, though.
But you know what? I'm glad that no, he said something to what did he say?
Because see, I thought they was painting a picture of making Damien evil, but now just really looking back at it, Damien was just being a young guy that was trying to prove himself to his brother.
Man, he had to prove nothing. He was already an accomplished swordsman. He was blessed with dark sister that was given to him by Jaehaerys, So he wasn't no joke. That man could take dudes out,
So you think Hightower was just being a butthole?
He just being a dickhead because he didn't like him. He didn't like him. He was at that time when the story opened. Damon was the heir to the Iron Throne. He made him his heir because he didn't have a son. So he made his brother the heir. Now,
they kept repeating that, but I thought that was just Damien saying.
But check Viserys out. He listening to Otto and he's like, Otto, calm down, man. That's my brother, man.
He wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that to me. I'm his brother, And then Corlys Velaryon. See, this is how I know. I told people and I said, yo, let me tell you something. Corlys Velaryon, you keep sleeping on him. That man gonna be fired. My man chilling in the cut, like you could see how badass he looked by being calm, watching Otto Hightower run his fucking mouth, and he's just sitting up here like, all right, but dude, he already has an heir, Damon Targaryen. Well, why couldn't they listen?
That's the black guy.
Yeah, the black guy with the dreads.
Oh, okay.
He said, well, look, ain't nothing gonna happen, man. He's next in line. So unless you got some magical shit coming up out your ass, you can't do nothing to him. That's what Otto was trying to say. Why don't we put him away? And why don't he go this, that? No, you don't got to do shit. That's for his brother to decide. And
but Abu, I think another dude that's gonna be cold in the future, and I might got him confused with somebody in the lore, but the bald-headed guy, the knight, the bald-headed guy with the. Is he gonna be something cold in the future? Yeah, is he gonna be something cold in the future?
I have no idea. I don't even know who he is, to be honest with you.
Okay, I got a feeling he's
Did
gonna be
he
something else
even
too.
I mean, he's close
see
to
that?
Rhaenyra, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming maybe he's gonna have a bigger role as the season progresses.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a bigger role. It's just
Yeah.
something inside of me that say he gonna have a bigger role in the future. You know?
Well, he did have some choice words. I mean, you know, he took Rhaenyra to the throne room, saw Damon sitting on the Iron Throne, and of course
Yeah.
that High Valyrian baby. They start speaking that High Valyrian. I'm like, and Matt Smith really got that lingo down, man.
Down.
But you know how he talks? He talks it like it's seductive, man. He seducing people in High Valyrian. I was like, God damn, they tailor made this shit for Matt Smith.
I don't know how long they had to rehearse that, but it paid off because
Yeah.
as soon they were speaking it like they had been speaking it forever.
I
Mhm.
agree.
I give it to the young lady though. She held her own, man.
She did
But
too,
soon as he
yeah.
came off, but as soon as Damon came off that Iron Throne, he started strutting his shit. I was like, oh yeah, lady's gonna love this shit.
But how long do you think she's gonna stay a young lady? You think it's gonna be just a few episodes
Yeah,
or
just
the
a few
whole
episodes,
season?
and they're gonna do the time jump.
The
you
time
know?
gap.
Yeah, because all of this the whole season is just really setting the stage
It's a
for
setup.
the actual war. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and that's going to take a while because a lot of houses going to choose sides, blah blah blah. But yeah, he always favored Rhaenyra for right out the gate, you know.
Let
But
me
at
ask
that
the big question, the climax of the show. What did y'all think about the pregnancy scene?
Well, we didn't get to that yet. Shoot, I want to actually.
You getting to the
you
end
jumping
already.
way too fast, bro.
No, that's the middle.
No, that's
the
not
middle.
the
ain't it?
middle.
No, that's near the end, bro.
Shoot, I want to work my way up to the tourney. But
Oh, okay,
before all of that,
Because the
all right,
tourney was deep too.
Damon going about his business, but Otto Hightower still running his mouth. You know what he said when he came in. He was like, "Well, Your Grace, you see what he's doing with the city watch? He's hacking people balls off."
Lorena, that's a good question you asked in the private chat too.
What? Oh,
She was asking about the half brother because they didn't
Oh,
show no
yeah.
half brother. They didn't show a half brother in this, did they?
Well,
because
not yet, but they set it up because
but the daddy
Otto
was the king.
Hightower basically pimped his daughter out to the king.
I'm not
That's
even-
exactly where that was going.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
but leading up to that, I'm still trying to go in
Lorena,
chronological
but real
order.
quick, Lorena, I didn't think about that. I was thinking, why is she going up in his chambers? I didn't think that deep.
You see, all of this shit with Otto, it all stems from Damon.
Yeah.
So I put it to you like this. Viserys even told him, it's like, what is your problem with Damon? Why you on your lips? It always talks about him. It's almost like, and he even said it. Look, Damon is not fit the rule, you know. And for me myself, I worry for the realm and blah blah blah. And then the small council dudes are sitting up there like, Corlys Velaryon is like, he's a little sucker, man. He just don't like your ass. That's pretty much what that was. But he did everything he could to try to keep Damon at bay. He joined. He created the City Watch. He created the Gold Clothes. Yeah, he went there and handled his business. So when they came
Marco,
back
that's
the
a good
next
question.
day, yeah. So when he came back the next day, dude was like, "Yeah, well, I did my duty, man. What do you want me to do?" Corlys Velaryon, badass. Yeah, well, you know, there was a lot of shit going down. So obviously, you need the City Watch to be feared. So he did his job, and my man Damon said, "Thank you, Lord Corlys. Thank you for your support." I was like,
Abu,
they
now
connected. They
Abu,
connected.
You made this even more dope than what it is now because I'm looking at it through the lens of the brother
Right.
being the big bad villain. But now since you saying all this, I look at him in a totally different light. He just misunderstood because when he had that conversation with his brother, I was actually kind of feeling what he was saying to his brother, to the king.
Yeah.
I was feeling what he was saying Like it was almost like, man, I'm trying to be there for you, but you won't let me. You putting other people's around you instead of me protecting you. I felt that, bro.
It goes even deeper than that. But before all of that, like I said, I'm going in chronological order. That everybody in this realm knows two things. Viserys is a good king. They love him, but they know about his brother, and his brother is not him. You understand? But they know that he gonna ride for his brother. He knew that. Everybody knows that, including Otto. So, okay, you got a little beef with me, and Viserys said, "No, Damon, don't do that shit anymore. Please, God, please, don't tack off walls and all that." All right, fine, whatever. So, sucker boy Otto, crying like a little bitch. But I'm a step off. I'm gonna step off and do my thing.
So Otto was kind of like, look, Otto kind of gonna be playing the little finger role.
He ain't even on the. You know what it is? He is smart though, but he's not on the little finger level. He don't need to. He's the hand of the king.
Littlefinger was much more calculating, and he was much more tactful. Hightower just like whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, but hey, let's get to the tourney though.
Real quick though, Marco said a good question. He said, "Do you guys know what was those balls that they put on the small council table?" I was thinking that too.
Maybe their place in terms of what they're telling the king, or I never knew that actually. I thought that was strange.
It was kind of weird, but looking at the timing and how they put them all down, do you notice they didn't start to talk until all of those balls were in place?
Oh my goodness, Joe!
I thought they might have been dragon eggs or something.
No, dragon eggs are huge, but these were like really small, and they put them, like in place. And it seems that as soon as all of them had them in place, that's when they started talking.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was maybe like a dragon eye or a dragon. You know what I'm saying? Something with a dragon.
But obviously none of this was in Game of Thrones, so we had no idea. Why did they? Yeah.
No, it was just from observing because I didn't know. It was like, what is that there next time? And then the next time I saw the scene, none of them started talking until everyone had their representative, boss
Tracy
sitting
said
in there, and they focused on it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, nice.
But had y'all noticed something in Game of Thrones? This is what I noticed about Game of Thrones. It seemed like everybody that's been a hand, except for Ned, has been evil. Have you noticed
there've been some good hands, throughout the Targaryen reign. Not a lot, but there has been some good hands. Yeah. Shit, when the Dance of the Dragon is over, you're going to see another hand come through. But I'm not spoiling that. We already in spoiler territory, and I should have just told people coming in.
Bro, this should have been a straight spoiler, though, man.
You can't do non-spoiler with Game of Thrones.
It's hard to do a non-spoiler, bro.
Yeah, and that's my fault. Anybody that comes in, let everybody know. Whoever comes in, tell them this is spoiler territory. If
it's spoiler now, man.
Yeah. I apologize. I should have made
10 million people watched the show last night. It's way past
10 million.
Fatal. It crashed the servers.
Just like Justice League. Justice League Snyder Cut.
Bro, this is how I know Lorena's not lying. My HBOMAX never crashed on me. It crashed on me 2 times watching House of Dragon, bro. It crashed. I thought my internet had went out. It was just HBO Max. It crashed, bro.
Epstein's Ghost with the $2 super chat. He says that's a cold setup you have in the background, Lorena. Yeah.
Oh, you got that cold anime.
Sick.
I've been working hard on this.
You see my walls? They're bare. somebody told me that I need to get a girlfriend because my walls are bare and I don't. I
saw that dude say that. He weak, man. Forget that dude.
I'm laughing my ass off, and I'm like, he must be probably in his 30s.
You talking about the guy who only gets views when he talk about other YouTubers?
Yeah. And I'm sitting up here like, he was probably 3 years old when I was smashing chicks all over left and right. Shut the fuck up, please. I don't know. I don't got time to put
Abu,
man. I got a job. I need to work.
Tell this man you got grandchildren. Abu got grandchildren.
I got grandkids, right? And I'm sitting up here like, okay, all right. I'll leave these kids to their bullshit. It's not even worth just spanking their asses just because.
It ain't worth it, man. Hey, but you on top, it ain't no reason to spank them. You know?
Oh my goodness, the tourney. The tourney is pretty much one of the best scenes, along with the whole birth thing. Wow, they ooh. But before that, I'm giving it to Viserys. I just love watching scenes with him, especially his wife. You could tell in his eyes how much he loves his wife.
Bro, he
ain't worrying about no hoes. He ain't worrying about, I know I'm the king. I can get any chick I want, but he literally just has eyes for his woman. Just her. And he's even though he knows that she's pregnant and she lost a lot of, babies behind it. And it just seems like in his eyes, he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm putting you through this, But she tells him, she like, look, I'm trying to give you a son. If I failed you in any way, and he said he kissing her hand like, baby, you're not doing anything other than, being my queen. And it's just in his eyes, like, it's gonna happen. And when if it's done, it's done.
When she looked at him and said, "This is the last one,"
yeah,
he felt that, bro.
Yeah, he didn't even blink. He knew. All he wanted to just let's get this over with, and I'm good.
And he knew. He said, "This is going to be your son." He kept saying, "He said I had a dream and everything." He said, "This is going to be your son."
Yeah, it's in the back in the private chat.
Oh, geez.
The second one of Epstein's ghosts.
Wait a minute. Epstein's ghost. I did do
right below the white before that. Below the White Walkers one.
Epstein ghost. Thank you for coming, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Epstein's
35 of y'all in here.
Epstein's ghost. I am so sorry,
brother. Keep growing. It's gonna keep
I'm
growing.
sitting up here all giddy and excited for actually seeing a good episode of a high
The algorithm don't start promoting your stuff till an hour in into a live stream.
That's okay. I'm hoping people come in and see, listen, we got a good start on a series that everybody felt like it ain't even fucking worth watching. Now, 10 million people saw this. And a lot of people started now saying, you know what? Let's see what happens. I'm interested, or I'm curious to see what's going on. Epstein's dose with the $5 super chat. He said Nostradamus. Fatal Nostradamus. Fatal Damus. Yeah. Like I said, I told people a long time ago, he's going to be right when, God forbid, George Lucas passes away and they're going to redo the entire
that's going to hurt, though.
It's going to hurt everybody.
That pains me.
You called this out, Fatal, 2
He sure did.
Ago. 2 years ago. And every day it comes the inches
it's getting closer,
coming
bro.
through. Yep.
It's getting closer. Yep.
That's why we got to hold on to shit like House of the Dragon, because you can only do but so much, but at least the author is in on this.
At least they respect the man who created it. You know what I mean?
I'll give them that.
George Lucas is still alive, and they disrespecting him every movie, every TV show.
He called them out. He said, "Listen, Star Wars got away from me.
He's like, it ain't mine. I don't know what that is.
That's nothing. The 6 movies, that's my vision. The EU, that's my vision. All of these things before the Disney sale was me. Everything else after that, I can't tell you, man.
And you know what they tell me, Abu? That none of this is canon. You know what I mean?
Not a fucking one. Obi-Wan, this one, that one. The only thing I may give canon, Rogue One. That's always going to be.
Rogue One was fire, though.
It was fire. I know it's a rip-off of the EU. I know it's a rip-off because I know
I fell asleep on that movie,
y'all. Probably looking at it. You better say it's
twice. I fell asleep on Rogue One.
You? Oh man!
Yes, I couldn't. I was like,
I love that movie.
Now.
I love that movie too.
I love it to death.
I might watch it tonight before I go.
Listen. Every time I watch Rogue One, I just get giddy feelings, man. It just gives me the Star Wars feel.
I will watch Rogue One before I will watch The Force Awakens. I will definitely say that.
That's a good thought. Yeah. Shit. That's why Andor. I'm only going into Andor to okay, please give me that Rogue One feeling. Let it connect to Rogue One. Don't do anything else. Don't do no FX trickery and all this other dumb shit. Please don't do that. Just give me, what I see. That's all.
You can pay me to watch Force Awakens. I don't care how much.
Fuck that was a cash and grab. All right, but let's get away from Star Wars. Back to the House of the Dragon.
So where we live off at we were talking about the tournament.
Tournament, yeah.
The tournament, right? Epstein's goes with the $5 super chat. So your wildest predictions for season ending from just episode 1. Oh, so your wildest predictions for season ending from just one episode?
Oh, I see what he's saying. But Epstein, if they follow the books, we already know what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, which is a good thing for those that read the books. For those that haven't read the book, this is new territory for them. So we all getting what we want. That tournament right there, one of the best scenes. That was a big fuck you to Otto Hightower from Damon Targaryen. You know what Damon did, right? You know what Damon did? He's strutting his stuff, baby. He coming in with that badass.
He had the pimp armor on. I'm like, oh, even his horse had pimped out armor.
Jet black. Got
y'all talking about that dragon armor?
Ornaments. Even got the Targaryen sigil on his horse.
Yep.
So y'all think he was out of line when he hit the horse's legs, though? You think he was out of line?
No. You know what he did? He strutted his stuff because, of course, he's Prince. Prince Damon Targaryen is going to choose who he wants to fight. So he strutting his stuff, and he saw Hightower sigil. He said, "You, I'm gonna fight you." So yeah, that was Otto Hightower's oldest son.
Wow.
So he up there going in the list. They got a little touchy, and then Damon said, "Whoop."
So no, that wasn't even right. But you know what? He's the king's brother. What you gonna do?
He's the prince. So he got fucked up, and he looked down on him. He got down on him. He just looked at him. Looked at Otto. What's up? And Otto Hightower like, whoa.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Then to add insult to injury, he strutted over to the girls and he said, "You know, I would do a lot better in the tourney if I have the favor of you, beautiful Allison." And she was giggling. And then she went to go get the wreath. She picked it up. So it pops like, bitch, you better not even think about it.
See, now that I know the synopsis, I gotta go back and watch it, bro, because I didn't even know that's what he was doing, messing with the children.
Oh yeah.
No, he wasn't messing with the children. He was fucking with Otto Hightower's head.
I mean, I know yeah, that's what I'm saying. How did you get to somebody? You mess with their children.
Yeah,
that'll make your blood boil, bro.
And in public.
Yes. Yeah. Public humiliation. He didn't just fight him. It's like hitting, like in football, after the call, you go and sack somebody, he went and did it. Yeah. He's like, I'm the prince. I don't freaking care. This dude, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate your dad. I don't know you and I hate you and I hate your guts. That's exactly what he freaking did.
He said, I don't give a fuck if you the high end of the king. I'm Prince Damon Targaryen. I'm the blood of the dragon.
Do what I want. And yes, Tracy, she did give him that favor too.
I treated your son like a sucker. I told your daughter, go get me a wreath, baby girl. She point the wreath. So I got your daughter and your son on lock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The fuck off on this. But then Kristen Cole came in the building. I was like, oh shit. Him and Damon got it on. I said, oh, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. By the time it was all over, you know what I'm saying? Damon on the floor and the Kristen Cole like, will you yield? Will you yield? And Damon like, motherfucker, if I get up, I'm gonna try to kill you. But then he said, no, we in public. You can't get down like that. So he did that. All right, got up. Don't touch me, motherfucker. I'm the prince. Kept it moving. But I know he was affected by that. Ain't nobody gonna try to put him down in a public place where everybody can see. So he kind of like got shit back at him. Pretty good scene. I just felt so bad for Viserys though, especially the way he lost it because they gave him an impossible choice. He was like, well, look, man, you either going to get one or the other. You can't get both. You want the son?
That was something that is actually straight out of history.
Really?
Straight out of history. Henry VIII.
I remember you said that.
His second wife, Jane Seymour. No, his third wife, Jane Seymour. because he had married his mistress, Anne Boleyn. She only
Uh-huh.
gave him a daughter. That was Queen Elizabeth, right? So
Right.
Jane Seymour was pregnant. There was problems with the baby, and basically what he did was, okay, basically cut it out of her, which is exactly what happened. That
Right.
was Edward II, but his wife Jane Seymour only lived for I think like 2 days, and then she died.
Oh,
But
wow.
that was the choice. It was like either both of them die or what. And he was just like, he was
Damn.
desperate to have a male heir, and basically he had that baby cut out of her.
But you could
Bro,
see it in his eyes. He
You
was
can't
just
ask me to make that
heartbroken.
choice.
bro,
Yeah.
them screams, the screams she was making. Though.
Oh, she was just, it's like, what's going on? What's going on? And then when she realized what was going on, oh my God.
I know. And it's
Y'all
heartbreaking.
think he will file for not telling her though?
No,
he
what
gonna do
could
that?
you do? I mean, the baby either got to come out, they both gonna die. He was literally
Lorena,
like,
would you would have told her?
Would I
Would you
have
would have
told her?
told her that you about to kill her?
She would have known that was a possibility, because you
Yeah.
had women who would die in childbirth all the
But
time.
when you want to know you about to die?
You knew you were going to die anyway. You knew you were going to die. You knew you were going to die anyway. If you're in that
Do
position,
you think he made the right
die.
choice by taking the baby?
Yeah, there was nothing else. There's another choice to make. They were both
I
going to
thought
die.
he made the right choice too.
They were both going to die. Yeah, it's like that's the choice you do not want to have to make.
He said either 2 or 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy's not even trying to hear that. He's like,
but do you think he
made the
wanted
choice? So he's not.
This, I love stuff like this where it make you ask questions. Do you think?
Oh, okay.
Real quick. Do you think he wanted an heir more than loving his wife?
Well, Tracy said that with the closed captioning on, to hear her begging him to not do it was worse.
And she did, because she knew she was going to die.
Oh, snap.
She knew she was going to die. She was fighting because she was like, what's going on? What's going on? And by the time she realized it, she's begging him, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Because
And
Lorena, I took it as he wanted an heir so bad that something inside him said, look here, she going to have to die because I need my heir. That's how y'all took it.
I didn't take it like that, but the way Tracy in the chat said that she begged him not to do it. I mean,
she was going to die either way. Either the baby stuck in her and she was going to die because the baby was breech and couldn't turn the baby around.
Yeah.
She was going to die. She was going to bleed out and die if they didn't get the baby out. So either way, she was going to die.
So it was just a type of thing that she would rather die with the baby or don't make a choice or something. It's really
you know
hard.
What? That's really everybody want to be the king, but that's the choice you got to make as a king.
That's the thing. It was like he needed that male heir, and she was just like, I'm done. This is the last one. I'm sorry. Hopefully this is gonna, hopefully this is gonna be one.
Right. That's what I thought. I thought he was like, look here, this is it. I need my son. I'm sorry, baby, but you got to die because I need this heir bad.
Because that's how royal families do that. They don't care. They want that heir. So if the mom has to die, it doesn't matter if it's the queen.
To carry on their bloodline is important to them.
That's exactly, because remember what she said to Rhaenyra. She said, the child bed is our battlefield. That's exactly what she told her.
She sure did. That was foreshadowing, because it was some more foreshadowing too that led to she was going to die during birth. It was all throughout every time she spoke,
I only looked at it as I mean, I'm trying not to paint Viserys as the evil villain.
No, he had an impossible choice to make. I mean, impossible choice.
I'm not saying he evil, but at that time he wanted the heir more than he wanted her. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know if that made him evil, but it kind of
doesn't make him evil. Yeah, it was almost like he would have never have known. He would have lost both of them, which he did anyway.
Which he did.
Yeah.
But bro, that funeral scene blew my mind because, okay, you see her body. You expecting that. Yeah. But when you see that little tiny body wrapped up, I said, dang.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that was happening. you knew the baby was dying because of the way that the maester looked at it.
That's
when
right.
Yeah,
was
he
holding
looked at
the
it
baby.
funny.
That's
He
right.
looked at it real strange.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I think it's like with Viserys, he had his duty as king was to produce an heir.
Right.
And it was like either his duty as king or his duty as a husband, which one is it? So he's in an impossible position. And I think if it was like save your wife instead of the child, that wouldn't have flown.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it will still be, like I said, the matter of succession. But he didn't think of Rhaenyra at that time, even still, you know, and even at the funeral, she says that, you know, Damon said, you know, your father's going to need you more than ever. And they talking in High Valyrian, you know, I know Viserys knows High Valyrian, but he was so distraught. I don't even think, even when they was talking, he tuned out. He literally tuned out.
I will say this. He did reach an evil moment, but I love how they did him like Anakin Skywalker. He did redeem himself at the end because he realized he had an heir the whole time.
Yeah.
That was righteous and did the right things and was smart and moved the right way. So I think that was his redemption moment.
Well, he didn't come to that conclusion either that quickly. He was already
it wasn't quick. It wasn't quick.
Yeah, he was already bummed out. Now he's just back. He's back to square one, you know. But at the time, Damon Targaryen was still the heir. He was the Prince of Dragonstone. So legally, he's still where he was at before. But because Damon now finally did the absolute dummy move of all time, you know, he's in the brothel. Everybody, but he was already drunk, but he was melancholy, you know. And then the other people in there were saying, "Yeah, my prince is going to speak. We are back in business." Everybody talking about they back in business. We can't wait till he becomes the king because we gonna shine. And then Damon's like, "Okay, I'm preaching to the crowd," and he literally says, "Look, the people that was in power, Otto Hightower, and some of the people in the small council, they don't like me. Nobody cares about me. You know, half of the people in the city or the realm don't like me, but that's okay because I'm still standing." Outside of the air for a day. Now, you think it being in the brothel, everything was hush hush and this, that, whatever, but the shit got out quick.
That's what
Otto Hightower, and you know, Otto Hightower was so fucking happy to be there and say, "You know, Your Grace, I didn't really want to. Oh my God, you such a phony baloney bat." But go ahead, bring it out there because you knew that was going to be the thing that would sever the ties. Because before that time, he told Otto, he's like, "No, let me tell you something, man. I don't give a fuck what it is. That's my brother. My brother is not going to kill me. My brother is not going to steal my throne." And then the maesters are sitting up there like, "Well, maybe he could." He was like, "What the fuck is y'all talking? Yo, is all of y'all crazy? I'm up there. I've lost my wife and my son and blah, 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 blah. And all y'all can think about is Damon just putting a coup to take over. Y'all motherfuckers is crazy. That's my brother. He'll never do nothing, no crazy shit like that." And Damon's sitting up there listening like, "Yeah, my brother." He's listening to him. They're defending him. That's what makes the scene coming up now even worse. So now
I got to watch this again now.
He finally come. This is pretty much the best scene in that episode. He comes in and Viserys, and everybody make it seem like, "Oh, Viserys is happy and this and that." That man pulled on, he had black fire. Aegon Targaryen's sword sitting up like this, Bring it, the King's Guard was all this flexing. Now Damon's sitting up here like, "Oh, you looking like the conqueror now. Yeah, all right. What's going on, brother?" He's oblivious to what happened. And Viserys just came out and said it. "Did you say that? Motherfucker, did you say that?" It was all fun and games when he said heir of for a day. "Did you say that?" And then the smile of Damon, like, "Oh, shit. Yeah, the moment I fear." But Lorena, take me through it. I want to see what your thought was.
Oh, man. Just when he was like, "Did you say it.
Yeah.
Damon kind of tried to play it like, yeah, you know, it's just tough. He's like, no, did you say it? And he's basically telling him all that crap and the hell that I've gone through. You know, lost his wife, lost his son, and you decide to say something like that. I mean, Viserys, you because like we were talking about in the beginning of the episode, Viserys, you know, he's happy, go lucky, you know, hey, get along, love everybody, you know, all of that. Winds up losing his wife and son, and he's just lost. But that whole thing about air for a day, fire and brimstone coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But you know what was dope about that scene? You seen the talent between both actors because I watched this show totally wrong because I was thinking Damien was the bad guy, but I promise you, when it got to that throne room scene, I was feeling the stuff Damon was saying to the king.
Same here.
Yeah, I could understand both sides of the argument between those two. He like, man, look here, man, you riding with these punks, I'm your blood. Yeah. You supposed to rock with me.
Yeah.
That's a horrible feeling that you're trying to prove yourself to somebody in the family and they still rocking with other people. I could understand that, bro.
Yeah,
so that was a powerful scene right there, man.
It was because it hit so many raw nerves. I mean, Viserys, the way he screamed at him, I did everything to protect you. Nobody don't fucking like your ass. I'm the one that sat up here and told them to go fuck off. That's my brother. Blah, blah. And you could see Damon's face like, yeah, he does say that. You know he says that. And all you can do now is say this little joke. And it just really just hammered home exactly why Viserys is the way that he is. I wouldn't let nobody harm you. You could do this to me. I give you every opportunity and you fucking fall back. And now Damon gets upset because he feels like, well, what the fuck, man? You sent me to the Vale. You make me do the city watch shit. I don't want to do all of that nonsense. I want to be by your side. Yeah. Your side. And then that's when Viserys stopped. And he said, 10 years I've been here. Not once you told me I could be the hand of the king. And Viserys like, why would I do that? Motherfucker, I'm your brother. That's the reason. That's the reason why, period. I'm your brother. So while Otto Hightower and all these other little the bitches that be whispering it, because he told them, he's like, nobody don't like you either. You know what I'm saying? Not
and
really.
You know what? When he said that, when he was like, you know, I'm your brother, basically, he should be hand of the king. I'm like, yeah. Why aren't you the hand of the king? Literally, that's exactly what I thought.
Outside of me being me, outside of being me, okay, I can understand that, but shit, I will obey your orders. I don't give a fuck about nobody else, but if you tell me something, then I'm good. But don't sit up here and tell your own blood that I gotta sit up here and do dirt shit, and I'm the prince.
Because Abu, when he made that argument about why he not the hand, I thought about Tyrion. Tyrion was the hand for his brothers and sister. You know what I'm saying? So it made me think this got to be something on a deeper level.
Vexa 4000 hit it right on the head. Not to mention all the jobs Otto. Yeah, Otto was the one commanding me to do this and blah, blah, blah. And then he told you, well, I feel like he needs to do X, Y, and Z. And you fucking go along with this shit? What if he told me to go to fucking kill some of your other relatives or whatever? Would you let him do that? You know? But he said, what am I supposed to do? I know about the people because I got people in there too that knows what they thinking. And they ain't feeling you like they think they are. I'm your brother. So if they want to try to do a plot on you, the fucking commander of the King's Guard can't be there forever. You got to go take a shit or piss one of these days. So what's going to happen then? I'm your brother, you know? But you acted like you couldn't even be bothered. And that kind of stopped Viserys and was like, all right, well, outside of that, fine, you know? Because I'm not sitting up here going to have nobody disrespect me in that way about my kids that I don't even have anymore. So you know what you're going to do? You're not gonna be the heir. You was the heir. I'm bringing a new heir. I'm your heir. Not anymore, motherfucker.
Surprise.
Not anymore.
Let me ask y'all this question though.
Mhm.
Between that argument, who was right, who was wrong?
They
Or was they both right and both wrong?
no. If Viserys had more of the right of way, because if Damon wouldn't have said what he said, everything would have been good, you know. And Damon, and like I said, all the ugly truth comes out between both of them. But at the same time, you can still feel the love these two have for each other. I'm fucking here to protect you. I gave you everything that nobody didn't like. So they going back and forth about how much they love each other. You know what I'm saying? How much they want to be for one another. And it just goes in one end out the other. And I was, God damn. These guys, they like this. And they can't even understand each other why we are the way we are. You know? But he still made that joke. And you acted like you ain't even apologizing. You said, well, you're weak. Viserys? I mean, come on. You know, you happy-go-lucky, everybody loves you and everything, but they feel like they could tell you anything and just you go with it. You know? And see that for him, he was like Otto Hightower. I see how that motherfucker really rolls. See, Viserys don't know this. He's just looking at it from the standpoint like, well, he's the hand of the king. He's doing the job. And that motherfucker, you don't really know him like that. He's a cunt. He's a sucker. He's an opportunist. He's the second son of the Lord. He ain't got shit. He ain't got a pot to piss in or water to draw out. So he's being handed the king and he's trying to hold on to that shit for dear life. You don't see that, Viserys? Nope, he doesn't. He's an honorable man. And I'm looking at him like, oh God, Viserys, please don't say that dumb shit. You know, oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah, because what did he do with his daughter? What did he do?
Exactly. He pimped his daughter out.
Hug and said, all right, go into the king. And she said,
wear your mother's dress. Right. That's what she told her.
In his bedchambers?
Yes.
And he was just writing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know the deal. I'm like, okay. All right.
Damn. She couldn't have been no more, what, 17? 18?
Didn't matter back in the day. They didn't matter. 13, 14,
yeah, they did,
whatever.
They did younger
Remember
back in the day.
Game of Thrones with Sansa? And Cersei was like, have you bled yet?
Amanda,
and Joffrey was like, yeah,
out.
as soon as you bleed, I'm going to put a baby in you. Mother says I'm going to put a baby in you.
They did that all the time back then, man.
Yeah, man. How do you... Wow. But she did what her dad committed. Listen, you're my father. You know best. I'm going to go in there. But it wasn't no hanky-panky shit, which I'm kind of glad. But then again, when you saw Viserys, he was just... I feel for... You know what? I actually admire his... He got so much talent. I mean, he literally... Like, he sculptures. He's a sculptor.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
I was like, wow, he got a hobby.
This is the hobby, right? And but this is how he tries to cope. And he's looking at Allison and he's like, what do you want? And it's like, well, I wanted to sit down and say blah, blah, blah. Yeah, tell him how sorry you are. And this, that, whatever. And that's exactly what she did. And like I said, he looked at her like, all right, I'm grateful, but I'm lost. And doing my sculpture shit is the only thing that just, but that was deep. No scruples whatsoever. Damon Targaryen pegged that motherfucker for what he really is. He's a sucker, he's a cunt, and he's an opportunist. And trust me when I tell you, that motherfucker gonna betray you, but Viserys can't see that. So now Damon's gone. He got on Caraxes. I know that dragon looks slick. It looks like more like
CGI in this on the dragons looks better than season 8 in the Game of Thrones, because you saw the dragon, it looked cool, but this one, it actually looked like it was living, breathing. Like even the close-up scenes where you can see it, it actually feels, even the way it moves is just mind-blowing. I'm like,
Reina, I was more impressed with the CGI of the city than the
well,
dragons.
that too.
Yeah,
both
that
of
too.
them were. Both of them were. But
Yes,
definitely
sir.
the dragons, because
That was dope. We saw that was dope. We saw Damien Dragon towards the end of the episode too.
Yeah, Caraxes.
Yeah.
Whew.
Now this is my prediction because somebody asked, "What are your predictions in the season?" I think we're going to see some dope dragon aerial battles.
Yes, there
Yeah.
must be.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
they gave us little clips of how the season will progress. So, HBO, Vexer said HBO knew they had to spend some money. Oh yeah, and rightfully so. You either go hard or go home.
exactly.
Yeah, because streaming is
straight up.
losing money. Look at Netflix. Netflix is almost bankrupt.
Not really. They're gonna be all right. They just
No,
they
man.
just
You didn't see all them people they fired. They fired a lot of people.
Yeah, I would find them too. Shit, you went woke and then you went broke. Now the Netflix is like, okay.
Oh yeah, because they was wrong for that little
Everybody's
kid
doing
stuff.
that. Everybody's
Yeah.
doing that shit.
That little kid stuff was foul. They lost a lot of people doing that stuff, man.
Yeah, but they'll get back on it because, like I said,
I'm gonna buy stock in Netflix though. I don't care. I need to make money on it.
Look, I love the Sandman. The Sandman.
Sandman was fire. I didn't know you watched that.
I went to
No, I got
sleep
the books. I read all the books, so I
got the books too.
I kind of like. Okay, I understand they gotta trim the fat on certain things, but they did consult the author. And like I said, this is where I go. If the author is alive and you bring him in and you tell him how certain things he got, and he okay with it,
Neil Gaiman,
let's ride with it, man. Because if he ain't sweating that shit, nobody should be too. That's why George R. Martin said, look, I wish I wouldn't have written Corus Velaryon so stringent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I put it there, whatever. But, as long as the character is intact, who gives a fuck what their color is, man?
bro. The only thing that I've seen in a live adaptation that was pure to the source material, the only thing I could think of was Frank Miller's Sin City. Have y'all ever seen that?
I have not.
Sin City, the first one was fire.
Bro, they literally
was
the words
Yeah.
From the comic inside and put it in the script.
Right, but that's a stylish thing they wanted to do. With the Sandman, like I said, I really liked the pace. Maybe I was just in the mood for slow pacing, but I read the books. So I already could follow everything that happened. Now, Lucien wasn't black. It was some weird type of thing with the long hook nose and the librarian.
Yeah, Death wasn't black either. Death wasn't black.
No, none of it. But like I said,
but she did an incredible job.
Yes, she did. I liked
an awesome job.
But like I said, I'm not sweating over the whole, like I said, the race swapping thing. As long as the character's way of doing things is intact, and if the author is on board with it, why are you?
I think people are just too trigger happy on that. I mean, granted, they have been overdoing the race swap, so to speak.
Yes,
but they've had it
totally
done back in the day when nobody even really cared.
Yeah, because nobody complained when Samuel Jackson did Nick Fury.
And
that's a white camera.
Time. They literally saw it for what it is and just rolled with it. Now all of a sudden everything just gets scrutinized and stuff, and I'm tired. I don't even just be bothered with that shit.
I'm just like, it just goes in one ear and out the other.
I mean, because you're either gonna like the show for the merits that it is or not. The same thing with Game of Thrones and any other movie. Now, Rings of Power is something different because it wouldn't have been a big mess with
that's something different.
The Elven Fade and Wilbo Swaggins and all the Black Hobbits. Everything would have been good.
In Middle Earth.
Yeah, everything would have been. Look, I don't mind giving me Bilbo Swaggins and all that. We'd be at the Shire smoking the long bottom leaf. I don't mind that, but don't change up the things that is literally in the law, and you just disregard it and just do whatever the fuck you want.
You're going to do it just to do it, and that's the problem.
Yeah, because you own the property now, so you can.
But this is the thing, man. The reason why people are so pissed off. And the reason why people fell in love with J.R.R. Tolkien is how detailed this man was.
Yes.
I mean, you can literally take, let's just say Bilbo Baggins, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know you can trace Bilbo Baggins' lineage for hundreds of years? That's just one character.
Yeah.
You take a character like Aragorn, you can trace his heritage for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm. And they're about
that's
to
why
fuck up his lineage. They're about to fuck up their lineage now.
Yep. Yep.
Peter Jackson got ghosted behind these people.
Yep.
They ghosted. they brought him in for a second, and then when he told, "Yo, what are y'all doing? What are y'all kids doing, man? What is this nonsense?" He was like, "We ain't calling him no more."
Because the black woman that's the queen of Numenor, she's a ancestor of Aragorn in the books. So they messed that up, making her black.
I don't know that the way they just disregard Tolkien's writing, especially on certain things that was there for maybe decades.
Yeah,
that was absolute canon. That's why the people that are scholars that actually met Tolkien, that whatever, they know exactly how these things were supposed to be done. Listen, I'm not bitching and moaning about black people being in Lord of the Rings because number one, Tolkien is a devout Catholic. He only was telling certain things from his point of view for his people. And that ain't nothing to be racist about. He just made a story for his own people.
But this is the thing, Abu. He had black people in the book.
Right, but he didn't make that. But he didn't make that the focal point. But
that wasn't
as
the focus.
He was born in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? The African continent. He knows that the black people was there. This is their continent. So, yeah, he's going to put something in there to reflect the world or what it is that he lived in. But he concentrated on what he was trying to do to tell his story. There's nothing wrong with that. You know? And I try to tell people, I don't go for that. That's racist. Why is there no black? And I said, calm down, man. This shit's been here since the 40s, 50s, or whatever. And people reading it, nobody get bent out of shape. We've had the 78 cartoon Lord of the Rings. I was rocking to it, man. They were singing and this, that, whatever. Fucking Gollum was the actual a toad. But these were cartoons in the 70s. I wasn't bitching and moaning that they wasn't black. Soon as Peter Jackson made that masterpiece, Lord of the Rings, nobody batted an eye when we didn't see a black person there.
But it was black people in those joints. They were just in the background, but it was black people in those joints.
Okay, so you hired the people to play certain characters, but like I said, nobody was bitching and moaning.
Nobody cared. And with this, I would have gave them more credit if they would have just wrote it, shot it, and just dropped it out there instead of saying we got black elves, we have diversity, we have representation. Like that's supposed to get you views. Right. I would give you more credit if you just said, "Yeah, we just freaking did it and put it out there and did it."
Lorena, they add like, okay, we just be chilling at the house, and then we see a trailer, and we see black doors, and we say, "Oh, they got black people in it. I got to see that bad boy."
Yeah.
They add like that's what we do.
You know how I looked at it when I saw that trailer? Like, where the frick these people come from? I'm not a Tolkien head, but I saw The Hobbit, and this don't look right.
Like I said, I didn't get to read Lord of the Rings like I wanted to. But I did. My mother read The Hobbit to me as a child.
The Hobbit cartoon was my favorite.
My mother
I got to pronounce
some of the stuff there. Yeah. But either way, I knew about it. So by the time I actually saw the movies, now I'm getting interested. Well, all right, I want to know a little bit more. So I do the research, go on, the internet and everything, and you get to see how vast this thing is. That was one of the things that provided me when I went in on a dare. And my friend told me, you can't do that because black people don't. That's for crazy white people. And I said, so a black man can't do it? I said, bet. I'm going to do it. I spent damn near almost 15, 18 years building my universe for my story, the higher powers. I'm actually writing the story right now.
What up, Nick?
Will I be able to do the things that Tolkien has or whatever? I may or may not, but I'm putting in my best effort. But I'm going on the route that you want to create your own fantasy world. You want to see the things that you want to see in terms of diversity. You make your own story. You don't have to pillage somebody's work that he used his entire life to build, and you're just going to shit on it just because you paid a couple of billions of dollars.
Well, that's why it looked like House of Dragon is going to blow them out of the water. But I will say this: I got a dip. But I will say this.
Well, don't dip yet, man. We gonna end it off right now.
Okay, well, I just want to say this. I came in as a newbie with this story. I knew
Right.
a little bit about the lore, but I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch this now, since now I know Damien was just a what kind of character I'm trying to say he was. He was
He's-
he wasn't a protagonist.
No,
He was a misunderstood character.
he's misunderstood, but
He's
George
misunderstood.
R. R. Martin made it very
But
clear
he seemed like he had a good heart.
he does. But
Okay.
he's a killer. Do not
Yeah.
press it. He's a good-hearted man. He's very open. He's a loving individual. If you friends with him, he'll ride for you, just like he
Yep.
told his brother. But if you fuck around, you gonna get the business end of Dark Sister. Plain and simple. So with that being said, Lorena, your final thoughts on this fire-ass episode, because obviously we are singing the praises of this episode for going out in a good start.
Mhm.
Your thoughts?
Well, like I said, I'm a normie, but I loved how it started. I love the world building. I love how even in the beginning they referenced Game of Thrones
Mhm.
and at the same time told you where they were going with this. So it started off a little slow, but it needed to in
Right.
order to build what life was like these 172 years before the events of Game of Thrones. I thought all the characters were done extremely well. There
Yeah.
wasn't a character that I didn't care about. Hightower, I freaking hate his ass. So that's actually good. So that's actually good. That's
Mhm.
actually good. But yeah, the writing is good. I'm surprised. I definitely like watching
You
it.
came in
And
blind, not thinking it was going to be fire the way it was.
yeah, I reserve judgment
Yeah.
because I saw what happened with season 8. And I'm
Mhm.
kind of those where it's like, all right, I'll make up my own mind, but I'm not gonna rah, just yet until I can see what's going on. Because even Cameron was telling me, he's like, I know the people who write the episodes, and everybody came back said, it's some of the best TV they've seen. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, I'll wait till I see it. Watched it, lost track of time.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean the episode is over? When it's so good, when it's just like, let me see how much time it's like. Oh shoot, I only got 10 minutes left, but I can't believe it's over. And I want to go back, and watch it and see all the stuff that I missed, because there's these subtle things that they put in there that make you want to go back and watch it. So I'm happy with it.
Viserys basically told Rhaenyra the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yes.
So they literally made it canon that Aegon Targaryen didn't conquer the 7 kingdoms just for the sake of it. He read in the prophecy that something was going to happen that will herald the end of the world, the entire world. So he kind of figured, if I can get all these kingdoms under one banner, somewhere along the line, someone in my family will be able to save the world.
When I heard that, I got shivers down my spine.
Me too. And then I got mad because John, it popped in my head. It should have been John all the goddamn
Arya Stark.
I know. I loved it. Listen, when she got the kill, I've said it before and I said it again. I said to myself, okay, I liked it, but what's got to happen with John?
Yeah, I did not like
to have
that.
a payoff that was bigger than that. So if they couldn't do that, it was a failure.
Yep.
Now, seeing this scene by Viserys with Rhaenyra, it now made it crystal clear, and I know George R.R. Martin was in on it because he made it. They made it possible for them to say, put that in there, because that's what's supposed to happen. Now season 8 is a total disaster. They will literally have to, and I think that's why him and George R.R. Martin, Kit Harington, they really probably plotting this thing to retcon.
Yeah.
The retcon shit in season 8. And you know what? I'm gonna be all for that.
I would freaking love that.
Fatal, your final thoughts.
Just listening to your passion about this show, brother, it showed my it made me look at a different perspective, because I'm just looking at it like just from a basic point of view, but this show had many layers to it, especially at the very end with the throne scene, and that really just opened my eyes up. But until you explain where Damien was coming from and that he wasn't a villain, and the real villain of this was the guy Hightower, the Hand, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this show because I really missed a lot. But that's what I love about Game of Thrones at the same time too, because you think this guy is the villain, but he's really not. It's really this guy that's in the shadows trying to do his own thing. So it's pretty dope. So if they making me go back, because I never go back and watch anything. I don't care, movies or whatever. If it's making me go back and watch it, this is a dope show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And my final thoughts, you couldn't even tell me how, excited I was by this, but I was still a little bit, little bit nervous because I wanted this to really succeed so bad so people can stop sitting up here and just shitting all over it, based off of season 8, knowing that the whole journey itself was still fire, with Jaime and Cersei and Tyrion and this one and that one, the Night Watch, everything was still good, but they dropped the ball. Hopefully now with this House of the Dragon, however seasons they'll go through, they will give us great cinema, but they already set up the Song of Ice and Fire. So now somewhere along the line, either Kit Harington or George R. R. Martin got to make a show that's going to redo this shit and put things back to light. Because how, as an author, am I going to set something up that somebody from the Targaryen family is going to save the world and this shit don't happen because we already had the seasons fucked up behind it? If I'm the author and I'm still alive, I'm going to work like hard to course correct that shit. So I'm hoping Jon Snow gets greenlit and becomes a success. But for right now, let's enjoy House of the Dragon the way that everybody should be enjoying it.
Yeah, and make it popular so we can get that Jon Snow show.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The 10 million people that watched the first episode, there are going to be there may be like 10 or 12 more million people might come in as well.
But you know what George Martin said? He said he trying to make this like Marvel.
That's okay. Shit. Feige had the winning
plan
formula.
that out. Shoot.
Plan it out. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Shit. If I was smart enough, maybe I'd do that.
These characters, they're starting to be more interesting, and I hate to say it, but they're more interesting now than Star Wars characters.
Miss Martin Muse, if he can't do it in the book, he may do it in the Jon Snow show. It's like, fuck it. Because if he can't write fast enough to get the shit done, and God
let him write the screenplay.
But if God forbid something happens to him, I mean, because if I'm in his shoes, I want to try to write the thing, but I'm going to be realistic. I'm 70-something years old. I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate. If something happens to me, nothing is going to get done. But I want to please my fans as much as I possibly can. So what can I do to have both things? Okay, then set this up in House of the Dragon. Get the Jon Snow thing going, and then just fucking redirect the thing to make my real ending happen in that show. So by the time, if I can't get that out, at the very least, you, Miss Martin News, and anybody else will be at least okay. At least he put the effort to give us something that was in his mind that he wanted to see, either on screen or on paper, just as long as we get it. And we can satisfy everybody else. And God forbid if anything happens to him. We don't want nothing to happen to him. Live an even long life. Shit, I'm thinking the same thing too when I'm writing my story. So I got to think like that as well. So hopefully we will get that real Song of Ice and Fire ending, because shit, Viserys already set it up. So now we committed to this shit now. So with that being said, 29 to 35 people have been here this entire time. You guys have been absolutely great. Hopefully you enjoyed this little stream of ours that pretty much more or less, showing our love for the whole Game of Thrones universe as a whole, So at the very least, let's see what happens with episode 2, which will be on Reina Creole's channel next Monday night. Yep. So we're going to keep this thing going until the season is over. And please, God, let it just be more fire as we go along. So thank you so much, Tracy, Miss Martin, Muse, Vexer. Oh, my God. Who else was here? Oh, so fresh. Revenge of the Netherrealm. Vexer 4000. Oh, man, we had so many people come in just chilling up with us. But Yeah, you know, Dead Man Walking 55, Amanda.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. A2D2, of course, doing the damn thing as always, as the greatest mod of all time, along with Kayla D. Pierce Patterson. Oh, who else? Well, I don't think I can get to everybody. Big Raj,
many folks
199
in here.
super sticker.
Hey, Big
Wait,
Raj.
I want to know what that is, but I'm gonna have to check it out. Big Raj, salute.
It's a thumbs up.
Oh, the thumbs up. Oh,
Yeah.
great. And of course, Epstein Ghost rocking the spot. Marker, Zachariah 315. Like I said, man, for me, I'm going to get us all out of here the way that I normally do, because this is going to be a theme for me that I'm going to enjoy doing. So this is for all you guys and gals that's still here in the chat. This is for you, from one fan to another, as we take ourselves out of here the right way. Let's go. For everybody that's in the chat here tonight, and for those that's watching the playback, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us as we, go through episode 1 of House of the Dragon. Next week, the Dark Council's producer, Reina Creole, will be hosting our review for episode 2 of House of the Dragon. But for now, I'm about to get you guys and gals out of here the right way. Like I always do, give you my summary of what I seen this past Sunday night. You want to hear it? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, remember, this is what my eyes have saw. Hopefully you will agree with me. But just know, whatever you saw, that's for your thing. Love how the internet just exploded, though. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Rhaenyra, but respect in the name. Flying with Cyrax, life is good. She can live up in the sky, yes she would. But then she dropped down, she was running late to a discussion of matters of state. She's a cupbearer of her father, the king. Viserys the first, yeah, long may he reign. Master of coin, lying in Deesbury. Master of lords, lying on strong, never worry. Master of ships is Corlys Valar. Brian Redwine commands the King's Guard. Otto Hightower is the hand of the king. Walking around town like he knows everything. He can't stand the king's little brother named Damon. He tries everything in his power to shame him. But Corlys Valarion rides for my dude. Told Otto he's the heir, ain't shit you can do. Mad as fuck, but he's chilling in the gut. The Road Prince came through and said, yo, what up? House of the Dragon, yeah, that shit. Whenever Targaryen is. Viserys Targaryen is. Damon Targaryen, that boy is. House of the Dragon, yeah, that shit's Rhaenyra Targaryen. Viserys Targaryen is Damon Targaryen, yeah, that boy's. You command the city watch, acting like a beast. Came and laughed and said, but there's peace in them streets. Stop acting like a bitch and wipe my brother's shit. You're a pro-ass kisser, only reason you exist. But Sarah said, alright, everybody calm down. Let's lead to the tourney and go celebrate the crown. My sexy ass wife's about to give me a son. I'm here to spread the love, so let's have some fun. Damon chose a high tower before the first list. Knocked off his horse, treated him like a bitch. Wrecked this old shit on the ground, he was done. Damon looked at Otto and said, yo, that's your son? Otto said nothing, but you knew he was tight. Gonna lay low for the right time to strike. Kristen Cole held his own against the road. Rhaenyra was like, I like the way that he rode. Rhaenys was Corlys Valarion's wife. Firstborn of Aemon Targaryen had a right. Sexy as hell and a dragon rider too. Even passed over, she was too cool for school. House of the Dragon, yeah, that shit. Rhaenys Targaryen, yeah, that girl's. Corlys Valarion, that man is. Aemon One-Eye Targaryen is. House of the Dragon, yeah, that shit. Rhaenys Targaryen, that girl is. Corlys Valarion, yeah, that man. Aemon Targaryen 1, yeah, his. Rhaenyra and Alicent was always best buds, hanging out together, showing all love. Everything was good until they heard the bad news. The queen gave birth, but she didn't make it through. The son didn't live long after the fact, which was the straw that broke the king's back. Otto Hightower knew just what to do. Play the long game like the Dragon Lords do. He told his daughter Alicent to visit her lord. Wear your mama's dress and don't be no bore. Tell him that you're very sorry for his loss. Whatever that you need, the Hightower will enforce. Viserys was way beyond distraught and hurt, and Damon's offhanded joke made it even worse. He came to the throne room, his brother spazzed out. You thought that shit was cute, now you're banned from my house. Air for a day, huh? Well, how's this for fun? You're on the Iron Throne? It's not happening, son. I got a new heir now, should have done this from the first. If I see you back here, your problem's gonna be worse. Damon regretted everything that he said. He will make things right one day, that he swears. Jumped on Caraxes, he flew the friendly skies. Viserys told the lords and got a brand new surprise. Reina Targaryen is now the heir. Pledge your allegiance and be of good cheer. Episode 1 in a nutshell, my dude. See you next Sunday for episode 2. Yeah, House of the Dragon. Yeah, that shit's Reina Targaryen is Viserys Targaryen is Damon Targaryen, that boy is Rhaenys Targaryen, that girl is Paul is Velaryon, that man's Aemon One-Eye Targaryen is Aegon, the second of his name is House of the Dragon, yeah, that shit's Rhaenyra Targaryen is Viserys Targaryen is Damon Targaryen, that boy is Rhaenys Targaryen, yeah, that girl's Paul is Velaryon, that man's Aemon One-Eye Targaryen is Aegon, the second of his name is yes, sir. So what is the word? I've been waiting for this for a long time. And yes, first episode didn't disappoint. You can see it. The Rings of Power is DOA. Yeah. House of the Dragon, yes, here to stay. Yeah. Keep your black hobbits and the elves with the fae. Yeah. Warrior Galadriel there to save the day. You like high fantasy? Then come our way. More entertaining when you see the dragons play. Yeah. Characters to root for, wicked or brave. Yeah. It's the Dance of the Dragon hip-hop parade. I was waiting for this for a long-ass time. Yeah. To see a story like this get a little shine. Yeah. Folks want to race swap and say it's woke. Yeah. You hate what it is and you can't even cope. You're entitled to your feelings and thought, no doubt. Yeah. You're gonna see how it all plays out. Yeah. One day my fantasy will be told. Yeah. The higher powers, baby, and I pray that it goes. Yeah. No, how it goes. So slow your roll. Let's ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been brought to you by the Dark Council. So take me home. Dragon, baby. We back. Game of Thrones is back, bitches. I know Dan and Dave, they sitting up here like, damn, we fucked up. We fucked up. We should have done this shit more fire than what we did, man, on season 8. Oh well, hopefully they'll they'll redeem us. Yeah, we hope. Have a good night, everybody. God bless. Be good to yourself and others.
You muted.
Wayne Son with the $9.99 super chat. Talofa fam, been going for a minute. Just wanted to support the Dark Council. And thank you, my brother, for popping in. But alas, we got to get out of here. So you already know how it's going to go down. One more time for the good times. Where's my outro? I don't even know anymore. God bless. Good night. We'll see you next week at Lorena's channel. Rock on, like my man Mark with a C.